The Silent Son. Once, in a bustling town near a wide, winding river, lived a salt merchant named David. Known for his sharp mind and discipline, he ran a modest shop that supported his family. David had two sons, Aaron, the elder, and Luke, the younger. Luke, much like his father, was charming and outspoken, always quick with a smile and quicker with words. Aaron, on the other hand, was quiet, withdrawn, and rarely met anyone's gaze. He often walked with his head down, his voice barely more than a whisper. To many, Aaron seemed odd, dull even. Some called him the fool of the merchant's house, and they did so freely, whether to his face or behind his back. People used him, tricked him, laughed at him, and yet Aaron never complained. He endured. His father, though not unkind by nature, grew frustrated with his son's silence. "How can you ever run a business when you can't even speak up for yourself?" he would scold. Each word struck like a hammer, not because it was cruel, but because Aaron believed it was true. Fear gripped Aaron's life early. At school, he knew the answers, but never dared to raise his hand. During exams, his mind would go blank, his palms clammy. He fell behind. Friends became distant. Even his teachers stopped expecting much from him. When Aaron reached adulthood, his father had no choice but to involve him in the family business. But even there, Aaron's hesitation caused constant errors, missed orders, wrong measurements, forgotten promises. Each mistake sparked a fresh wave of anger from his father. Then, one day, misfortune arrived. While his father was away, 3 well-dressed strangers appeared at the salt shop. "We are here on behalf of your father," they said smoothly. "He asked us to deliver all the salt to the city." Aaron hesitated. Something felt wrong, but the words froze in his throat. His heart pounded. Before he could gather the courage to ask for proof, the men had loaded every sack and disappeared. When his father returned and found the shop empty, his fury was volcanic. "You're a fool!" he roared. "You let them steal everything. You've destroyed months of work. Get out of my sight, and never come back." Aaron stood there speechless. A storm of shame brewed inside him. Without a word, he walked away from the shop, from his home, and from the only world he had ever known. That night, with the town's laughter echoing in his mind and his father's voice tearing through his heart, Aaron found himself at the riverbank. The moonlight shimmered on the dark waters. A cold wind pressed against his back. "I am worthless," he thought. "No one needs me, not even my own family." He stepped toward the edge. But before he could jump, a firm hand grabbed his shoulder and pulled him back. "Stop!" a voice called. A young man, clad in a simple robe, stood behind him. "You're about to throw away something precious." "For what?" Their words. Aaron collapsed to his knees. "I am nothing," he whispered. "I fail at everything. I don't belong in this world." The young man, who introduced himself as Ethan, a disciple of a mountain sage, knelt beside him. "If you're alive, you still have power. But if you give up now, you'll never know what you could have become." After some hesitation, Ethan offered, "Come with me. Meet my teacher. If anyone can help you see your worth, it is him." Something in the man's calmness, in his certainty, compelled Aaron to follow. They traveled through the night, winding through woods and hills, until at dawn they reached a small ashram nestled beneath an ancient tree. There, seated in stillness, was the sage. Ethan bowed and gestured. "This is Master Elijah." Aaron bowed too, tears falling freely. "I've come because I have nothing left," he said. "If you cannot help me, then I will disappear forever." Elijah opened his eyes, soft and steady. "Then before you vanish," he said gently, "complete 3 tasks for me. Only then will I give you your answer. Day 1. Today, go into the town and speak to 10 strangers. Ask them about their lives. Listen, and write down their stories." Aaron wanted to refuse, but he had promised. Some ignored him, some snapped at him, But a few opened up, talked of their struggles, their losses, their dreams. For the first time, Aaron was not being looked at with pity or scorn. He was being listened to, as a listener. By sunset, he had 10 stories, and a strange feeling in his chest, pride. Day 2. Today, teach 10 children the value of silence. Aaron panicked. I can't teach, I'm barely educated. Elijah smiled. Those children don't know that. Just share what silence has taught you. So, with trembling hands, Aaron faced a group of restless children. He told them how listening made him understand others, how silence could hold peace, not just fear. To his surprise, the children listened. They clapped. They laughed with him. The second time he stood before them, he did not tremble. Day 3. Now, the sage said, go to your father. Ask for forgiveness, not to be accepted, but to release the weight from your heart. Aaron's breath caught. This task seemed more terrifying than all others combined. But he went. He returned to the salt shop. His father stood there, older, wearier. Aaron bowed low. Father, he said, I was weak. I was silent. But I'm changing. Not for you, but for me. I want to learn. Please let me try again. Silence. Then, after what seemed like hours, his father stepped forward. I was wrong, David said quietly, to judge you by your silence. He embraced his son. From that day forward, Aaron became not just a worker, but a partner. He still stuttered sometimes, still paused before he spoke. But he spoke. And slowly, the town no longer called him the fool. They began to call him the calm merchant, known for his wisdom and quiet strength. Confidence is not something we are born with. It is something we build. The greatest battles are not fought against others, but within ourselves. Fear, doubt, and silence can chain us. But courage, even in the smallest acts, can shatter those chains. You don't have to start bold. You just have to start.